Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely confused? Not angry, not sad, confused. You entered the conversation knowing exactly what happened. But somehow, by the time it ended, you started questioning your own memory. Maybe you've said things like, "Wait, did I overreact? Maybe it really was my fault. Why do I feel guilty when I did nothing wrong?" And the strangest part? The person causing all this confusion often appears calm, confident, and convincing, while you're left feeling like you're losing your mind. But what if that feeling isn't accidental? What if it's exactly what they want? Because narcissists have a psychological weapon that doesn't leave bruises. It leaves doubt. And once doubt enters your mind, they don't need to control your life. You'll start controlling yourself for them. Today, we're going to uncover the narcissist's mirror. The invisible psychological trick that makes intelligent, kind, and emotionally healthy people question their own reality. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why you felt crazy, when in reality, someone was carefully making you feel that way. Part 1. The mirror that doesn't reflect reality. A normal mirror shows you what exists. A narcissist's mirror shows you what benefits them. Think about that. When healthy people communicate, they exchange information. When narcissists communicate, they exchange manipulation. Their goal isn't truth. Their goal is control. So instead of reflecting reality back to you, they distort it. They twist events. They rewrite conversations. They deny obvious facts. Not because they forgot. Not because they're confused. But because reality that threatens their ego is unacceptable. If admitting a mistake makes them look weak, the mistake suddenly never happened. If acknowledging your pain makes them responsible, your pain becomes an overreaction. The narcissist doesn't change reality. They change your perception of reality. And that's where the madness begins. The emotional roller coaster narcissists rarely manipulate through constant cruelty. That would be too obvious. Instead, they create inconsistency. One day they admire you. The next day they criticize you. One day they make you feel special. The next day they make you feel worthless. This emotional unpredictability creates addiction. Your brain begins chasing approval. You're no longer focused on your happiness. You're focused on earning their validation. It's similar to gambling. You never know when the reward will come. And that uncertainty keeps you hooked. Over time, you become emotionally exhausted. Not because you're weak. Because your nervous system was never designed for constant confusion. Why intelligent people fall into the trap. Many people assume only weak people get manipulated. That's completely false. In fact, empathetic and intelligent people are often easier targets. Why? Because they are willing to self-reflect. Healthy people ask themselves difficult questions. Could I be wrong? Did I misunderstand? Maybe I should see their perspective. These are signs of emotional maturity. But narcissists weaponize those qualities. Your empathy becomes a doorway. Your kindness becomes a weakness. Your willingness to understand becomes permission for them to avoid accountability. While you're busy examining your behavior, they're busy avoiding theirs, and eventually, you're carrying guilt that belongs to someone else. The gaslighting trap. This is where things become dangerous. One of the narcissist's favorite tools is gaslighting. Gaslighting is the deliberate attempt to make someone doubt their perception of reality. Imagine this. You clearly remember a conversation. Days later, you bring it up. The narcissist looks at you and says, "That never happened." You insist it did. They laugh. You're imagining things. Suddenly, you're defending a memory you were certain about 5 minutes ago. Then it happens again, and again, and again. Eventually, something changes. You stop trusting yourself. You start checking with others before making decisions. You apologize more. You hesitate more. You become dependent on external validation. And that's exactly where they want you. Because a person who trusts themselves is difficult to control. A person who doubts themselves is much easier. Narcissists' greatest trick isn't making you love them. It's making you doubt yourself. Because once you stop trusting your own eyes, your own memory, your own emotions, you become dependent on theirs. But the moment you recognize the mirror for what it truly is, an illusion, its power begins to disappear. And maybe that's the most important lesson of all. You were never crazy. You were standing in front of a distorted mirror, trying to understand a reflection that was never real. The problem wasn't your mind. The problem was the person holding the mirror. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment below with one word: awakened. Because awareness is the first step toward freedom. And freedom begins the moment you trust yourself again.